You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
All right, guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast here. This is your host, Brian, and this is your Tuesday talk with me. And I usually come on here and I give you a NFL breakdown of what happened the week before, kind of go over the scores of the game and maybe some things I took away. I'm going to give you a little bit of that tonight. And like I said earlier on TikTok and on Facebook and on Twitter, I'm going to give you a little personal segment to get to know me a little bit more better here and get to tell you guys my favorite holiday and this time of year for me and what it really means. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and start off with the sports here. This week was an interesting week. I predicted the Colts to beat the Bills. Let's start out with that right away. The Colts dominated the Bills in Buffalo, 41-15. The Bills coming into the season, were projected to be the best team in the NFC or AFC. Sorry, projected. Some of them had them going to the Super Bowl. Some of them had them winning it. Some of them had them losing it. They're completely not the team we thought they were. Okay, they're pretenders right now. They're coming in from last season, this high-powered offense. Their defense struggled a little bit last season, and then they don't have a rushing attack. And that's something I've always complained about with the Bills is they don't have a rushing attack to complement this passing game. And they haven't beat nobody this year. They really haven't beat nobody that's really good. And I thought this was going to be a struggle for the Bills. Now, I didn't think the Colts would blow them out 41-15, especially in Buffalo. I did project the Colts to win, and I got that one correct. Now, Carson Wentz is playing well. The reason I picked the Colts to win is because their defense is pretty good. Carson Wentz is actually playing really well right now and staying healthy. So they can do that and they can continue to fight with his defense, that they're going to continue to pile on a couple more wins and maybe compete there in the end for a playoff spot, which surprises me. But if Carson Wentz, if a quarterback this season was going to go anywhere and change, this is going to be his his year for him. So to see if he's going to work out and maybe that Philadelphia didn't ruin him. But the Bills are in trouble. The panic meter should be pretty high there. They're not even they're not even leading the division anymore. The Patriots are winning that division. They played the Falcons. They beat them 25-0 on Thursday night, 7-4. And this is a team I talked about a couple weeks ago. The Patriots worry me if I'm in the NFC. They play really well. They're pretty good defense. Mac Jones found a rhythm. Bill Belichick has learned how to win with his team. They got all these players back from COVID, which set out last season. And the Patriots are a dangerous team. Bill Belichick's a smart coach. They are 7-4 right now. They're ahead of their division, and they could go deep in the playoffs, with this formula. And that's what the formula has always been for Bill Belichick, even when he had Tom Brady. We're going to take short passes down the field, and unless the big one opens up, right? You always want to take the big ones when they're there. But short passes, keep their defense on the field, control the clock, play good defense, and that's a really good, if you can do it consistently, it's a really good method of winning. And Bill Belichick has found a way to win with Mac Jones, and I thought this was the best fit for Mac Jones coming out was the Patriots. Out of any other quarterback going into it, I said he's Tom Brady-like in the sense that he's pretty smart with the football, and he makes the right keys to the ball, and he doesn't mind taking 12-play drives down the field. So watch out for the Patriots this year. They look just as good as they ever did, especially with that defense. So the Browns barely beat the Lions. That was pretty bad. Baker Mayfield didn't talk to the media after the game. Don't know what's going on with him, but the Lions continue to fight. The Browns have been probably the biggest disappointments, I think, coming into the season of hype. I picked the Browns to win the division. I thought they were going to take a next step. They added a couple players. Their defense is playing really well. Coming into it, we thought their defense is going to play really well. In some games, it hasn't. To me, this just says Baker Mayfield's not the guy. He's too inconsistent. He has the best 1-2 punch running game in the NFL. With his defense, they should be thriving, and they're not. And I think it's all because of Baker Mayfield not being consistent and getting the job done. Packers and the Vikings go down to a last-second field goal. The Vikings get the victory. Look, this is a game that's always hard for us. The Vikings play us well. It's a division game. We lost 34-31. This is a crazy game. We were down by 13 points at one point when we came back. We had a 75-yard touchdown to tie the game, and then with the Vikings drove down the field and just put it away. And this is not a bad loss for us. I think we started way too slow on the road against a decent Minnesota team to expect to win this game. Mason Crosby still missing field goals. That's an issue for us in Green Bay. He's not Mr. Automatic anymore. So Justin Jefferson had 8 receptions, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had one heck of a game. He's a great and fantastic wide receiver for them, and it's one that the Packers should have moved up and got. But that's beside the point. You got the Bears losing to a backup quarterback in Baltimore. They were up 13-9 or 13-6 at one point in this game. They allowed the backup quarterback to come in and win. And now, the Bears in this game, they did lose their starting quarterback in the third quarter, I believe, but they had their backup's Andy Dalton. So it's not like he's a typical backup. So he should still be able to come in and win games. But they just couldn't do it. And that's looking bad there in Chicago. I heard rumors that Matt Nagy's going to be out after Thanksgiving, regardless if he wins or loses. That's a rumor I heard today. I can't confirm it with any sources, but that's what I heard. We got the Cardinals beating Seattle with their backup quarterback. When's Kyle Murray coming back? I thought he'd be back by now, but they're winning games without it. Russell Wilson can't score points anymore. This team. They're out. They're out with their running back Carson's out for the rest of the season. I don't think he was that whole offense. Did Russell come back too soon? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks there in Seattle, and I don't think Russell Wilson will be back there next season. And with the Cardinals winning and the Packers losing, the Cardinals take over that number one spot and in the NFC. And Cliff Kingsbury definitely is up for Coach of the Year with that. The Cowboys, the Cowboys looked bad against the Chiefs, and their defense kept them in it. The Chiefs only scored 19 points. They were able to frustrate Mahomes a little bit. The Cowboys' offense never got going. Their offensive line looked really, really bad, and I know they're missing their left tackle and they're this and that, and I know Amari Cooper was out with COVID, and they lost Lamb at halftime. I get all that. And me and my buddy Jeff will probably bring this up on our episode later in the weekend. Is when are the excuses going to stop for this loss? Look, you just didn't show up. Dak Prescott looked terrible, missing throws left and right. He had no time to throw the football at all either. And when he did, he was off. I don't know what's going on with their offense. But at the same time, you look at all we've been hearing is excuses for them. Oh, they're missing their left tackle. Well, Green Bay's been without Bakhtiari since the playoffs last season. What else? They're missing Amari Cooper. Green Bay missed their 3 starting wide receivers and went into Arizona and beat them. Oh, well, it's enough of the excuses. There's no excuses. The only excuse I give a team is when they lose their starting quarterback, because that's the most important position on the field, period. End of discussion. Oh, we don't have DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence hasn't played basically all season. He played like 3 games. There's no excuses. Everyone's dealing with injuries. You got to find a way to win, and Dak's got to find a way to win this game when the defense on the road in Kansas City gives them an opportunity to. So this is a bad look for Dallas, bad look for the offense. And look, is it time to hit the panic meter? Definitely not. Don't get me wrong. They're going to win their division easily. They're going to make the playoffs, but they've got to show us that they can beat competitive teams if they want to put a real threat into other teams. The Tennessee Titans, after we praised them, me and Jeff praised them. We've been kicking their Titans' butt, saying they're done, stick a fork in them. Derrick Henry's gone. They win last week. They had the best record in the AFC. We're like, man, okay, we got to give them their credit. And exactly when we do so, they go out there and lose to the Houston Texans 22-13. I think they had 5 turnovers in that game. You're not going to win against anybody when you turn over the ball 5 times. So that was a bad look for them. And then that pretty much wraps up the football part of this podcast here. And I wanted to kind of get on here and talk to you about myself and this time of year for me and my family. And this is my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. And it gets a little crazy during this time of year. It gets a little crazy, I believe, at everyone's house this time of year and leading up to December and Christmas. But before I get into that real quick, let me tell you about something. I told you last couple episodes ago, I'm starting something. And I've been working on I guess you can call it a project. It's not like a project for school or anything like that. But I'm working on something. I've been thinking about this. Look, I'm a religious guy. I'm a member of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I don't know if you guys are religious or not. I hope you are. God's amazing. God does amazing things in our lives. And I've always been told that God gives us gifts, right? God gives everyone their special gifts that they have that they need to share with the world of spreading positivity, spreading the word of God, and spreading love in the world. And I think we need a lot more of that. But I got to thinking, what are my special gifts, right? I don't know if I have any, but I believe I do. So I was thinking the other day, it's been actually weighing on my shoulders. What are my special gifts I can offer other people? I can offer the world, right? Some people are very smart and they teach well, and they're able to be teachers and teach the world education and teach them anything and everything. There's some people that are great friends and have a great heart and are able to be there for others and just be that warm person in someone's life. There's people that are musically talented that share their music with the world to and music moves people in different ways, right? So there's all these different things that you can do with these gifts that you're given. And I got to thinking, I'm not very talented in a lot of it, and a lot of it, I'm not musically talented at all, and I don't like to speak in front of groups or anything like that. But I got to think, what are my gifts? And my gift, I believe, is that I'm very sociable. I like to talk. Obviously, I got a podcast here. I like to talk to other people. I like to get to know other people. I like to be an ear for somebody and a shoulder to cry on. That's who I am. That's, I tell you guys all the time, if you ever have a problem, you ever have an issue, you ever just want a new friend or someone to talk to, I'm always there for you. You can, I know you may not know me personally here, but I'm always there for you. You can text me, you can email me, you can message me on Facebook. Our email is outspokensports@gmail.com. It's outspokensportscast@gmail.com. You can message me on Facebook. You can message me on Twitter. You can do whatever you want to reach out to me. I am a great listener, and I have a giant heart. And I was thinking, how can I use that to the greater good? And I'm working on something called the Know Your Neighbor project. And this is a project that I've been wanting to do for a while. And my brother-in-law has kind of inspired me a little bit. We did something for a little while. He just hasn't had the time. He hasn't had the time to really go full forward with it, and hope it continues. Called My Goliath project, or the My Goliath. And it was about overcoming stuff in life and sharing your story so that people could hear your story and be inspired by that. And that's a fantastic cause. And I hope we continue that at some point. But this is the Know Your Neighbor project. And, it doesn't literally have to be your neighbor, but it can. I want to challenge you guys to start there, to go outside and meet your neighbors. Literally, honestly. Go next door if you haven't talked to your neighbor. If you haven't met them, we just moved in a new subdivision about 5 months ago, and everybody that moves in, I've taken time to go, hey, meet them down the street. Hey, this is us. This is who we are, and if you need anything, just let us know. And it's about opening up to other people and sharing with other people and letting people know that you're there for them, right? Or I think it's showing care and love for others, and inviting people over, having cookouts, doing those things. I would love to go when I'm out to eat, just go sit down with someone that I don't know and just talk to them, get to know them, and tell them your stories. And I believe by sharing our stories and sharing our life and everything helps us be able to have compassion for more people, to be able to listen to others and maybe see things from their point of view on different topics. I'm not talking about politics or anything like that, just different things in life. And you're going to find out real quick that you have a lot of in common with a lot of people out there in the world. I just want to challenge you guys to do that. And if you have any stories that you want to share with me, please do so. I would love to hear them. I'm going to tell you a story of mine in a little bit here, a personal story, and I'll probably get emotional. So don't make fun of me or think I'm a wimp, but I will get a little emotional. I always do this time of year, and you'll find out why in a little bit. But share your stories with me. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear them. I don't have to share them. I would love to go meet new people and put it out on the internet of, hey, I met John Doe here today, and this is a story he told me, and we've got to relate on a different couple of levels. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing all this stuff for it. Simple email address, simply just going out and doing that, and go across the street, meet your neighbors, leave some cookies at the next door neighbor's house this Thanksgiving or Christmas. I made some dinner the other night. I made chicken fried rice, and I made so much of it, I shared it with a friend down the street. I said, hey, I made so much chicken fried rice. Here you go. Go out of your way to do things for others. Be a light in their life. Be that unexpected person to brighten their day. And I think if we all did that, we would come a long way. So that's my hope with this. That's my goal for this. to challenge you guys to get out there and meet other people and get outside your comfort zone a little bit. I don't like talking to I don't like talking in big groups, but I love talking to people, and I figure that's a way that I can maybe brighten someone's day and use my gifts as my gift as a person who loves to talk and being very social to brighten other people's day in life. And then it's just called Get to Know Your Neighbor Project. You can send me emails right now at outspokensportscast@gmail.com, or I'll probably make a email know your neighbor at gmail.com and go from there. But it's something I've been working on and thinking on, and just sharing some love and peace back into the world. And because we all know that we could use it during this time. And that's what I've been working on. Now, for my story time here, and I'm gonna let you in on something that's very personal to me. And I want to thank you guys for taking your time out to listen to this and listening to me talk. And I'm on TikTok. We are on all the podcast shows. I'm live streaming right now on YouTube. We are on there. We are on YouTube live stream. We are on every social media platform. We are on every podcast platform you can think of. So come show your love. Come show, subscribe, share us to your friends if you like so. But Thanksgiving is my favorite time of year. And I'm already getting choked up here. It's my favorite time of year. And it's the hardest time of year for me. And told you I'm going to get emotional. So Thanksgiving is my favorite time of year because it's my favorite holiday. Now, growing up, Christmas was my favorite holiday as a kid. I think a lot of people's was because, you woke up, Santa came, you got the Christmas presents. It was just great and fantastic. And when I got older, I realized Christmas was not so fun without all the gifts, right? And then obviously I know the real reason behind Christmas. It's not all about It's not about toys and spending money. It's about Christ being born. That's the major thing. But growing up and getting older, I decided I thought about I changed my favorite holiday to Thanksgiving. It's a time where we can come together as a family and eat food. And me and my wife, we love food. We're foodies. We love to go out on our dates, and we love to eat a good meal. I don't know who doesn't, right? Thanksgiving's great. We get to shove our faces with a lot of food, hopefully. And you just get to have good friends and family over and just be together and take time in that moment to be with the ones you love and that are around you. Sorry. We lost our grandma. It's been a year now, a little over a year. And you never know when your time is up. And so this is our first Thanksgiving without her, I believe. And it's hard. You miss those recipes she made. You missed her being there, that's hard. So you never know, right? When your time is up on this earth and when God calls you home. And so Thanksgiving is a time where we can all come together and be together and eat a good meal and share your stories and just let people know you love them. And that's something too this holiday. Don't take for granted. Tell people you love them because you love them. Saying I love you is never a bad thing. But Thanksgiving's great. Love it. It's my favorite. Work gets a little stressful for me, but November 22nd just came. And if you don't know, I have 4 beautiful girls. I got an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old is about to be a 4, and I got a 2-year-old. They're all girls, and I love them with all my heart. And I knew when I was younger that I wanted to be a father, right? I knew that I would be good at it, and I'm a dang good father. And I don't say that to toot my horn, but without a shadow of a doubt, if I don't know anything in this world, it's that I'm a good father. And I'm going to tell you a little story here. So, me and my wife, we've been married for 10 years now. Yeah, we've been married for 10 years. We dated for 2 years before that. But right when we got married, we moved up to Utah, and we decided, hey, let's get married. My wife, Jana, she went to Utah after high school and lived up there for a while with her friend, and she moved back down, and we met, and we got married, and we decided, hey, no, we don't have anything holding us here. Let's go to Utah. Let's explore. Let's live there for a little while and see what happens. And we moved to Utah, and I loved it up there. It was beautiful, great mountains, great weather, great temp. It was just perfect. And we moved up there, happily newly married, and we got pregnant. And we were so excited, as anybody else does when they get that news. We were jumping for joy. My mom always told me, "Don't you move to Utah and get pregnant." And that's exactly what we did. We had a honeymoon baby. And during that time was amazing, right? We had everything looking forward to. We had a baby on the way, just married, setting up our life in Utah, and just the newlywed life that we had. And my wife was about 7.5 months along, and we lost the baby. And excuse me, it's the hardest thing I've ever gone through and will ever go through in my life. And I don't wish that upon anybody. We had a stillborn at 7.5 months. And it was hard, man. I'm not going to lie to you, as I'm crying here. Her birthday was November 22nd. She would have been 10 years old. So this time of year, like I said, is my favorite holiday. My wife's birthday is 11/11. Annabelle's birthday is, which will be 4, is 11/30. It's a great time of year. But every year, on the 22nd of November, it's a hard day for me and my wife. And some years are harder. Every year is hard, right? You just keep thinking about how old they'd be, and you mark the memory, and we get a little cake for her. I do all those things. We named her Daphne. She was also a girl, so yes, I have 5 girls. We have 4 girls here and 1 angel baby in heaven waiting for us. And that was the hardest thing, right? And it could have tore our marriage up. It really could have. We just got married, losing a child the way we did. It could have tore us up, but it brought us together. And we were each other's rock, and we still are to this day. And that really, we were already a strong couple, I believe. She was my best friend. And then we dated for a while, and then we got married, and Pam and Jim on The Office. Okay, that's us, right? We always we love each other, and going through that was tough. But going through it with her is the only way I survived. And we'll have our days. We'll have this time of year. I cried on her shoulder earlier. No, it is what it is, right? And so a year later, we decided to move back to Texas because we had family here. And Janet had some family up there, but most of her family and most of my family was here. And we go through a year later, and I'm always will struggle with it a little bit. You always have that pain there, but I lost all faith in God. I was mad. I was angry. I couldn't wrap my head around why this had to happen. What was the point of this? It could seem too cruel to me. And a year later, my wife said, "Why are you so angry? Why are you so mad?" I had no hope in the future if we were trying to get something, it'd be God, it ain't gonna work out. It's just not in the books for us, right? Um, I felt, I guess pity. I don't know what you would call it. I was still really angry about it, and my wife said, "Well, maybe you need to talk to somebody about it, right?" Because we never went to grief counseling. We never went to any kind of counseling about it. And looking back on it, we probably should have. We never did though. And I told her. She asked me, "Why are you so angry?" I said, I'm just mad about Daphne, babe. I'm just so angry." And she said, "Well, why don't you go meet with my brother-in-law? My brother-in-law is a bishop in the church, and go talk to him. That's what he's there for. That's what bishops are there for. Plus, I already know him. I have a brother-in-law, Mark. He was at the time was a bishop, and he's such a good guy." And I said, "That's fine. Maybe this will help." So I went to the church, and I got to talking to Mark, and we prayed and we cried together, and we talked about it. And when I left the church that day, I knew I felt Christ for the first time in my life. I felt the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, for the first time in my life. I walked away knowing that a big boulder that I felt was weighing me down for that year had come off my back. And I knew that I was going to be okay. I knew I'm not okay with what happened, right? But I knew there was some reasoning for it. Like I said, losing a child is something that you'll never get over, ever. It's been 10 years, right? Never over it. We'll never get over it. I actually got a tattoo. I'm going to show you guys there on the live stream here. It's a scorpion tattoo. She was a Scorpio. Her name is Daphne, and her name is actually in the tail of it. It's Daphne. I got the tattoo for her. It's the only tattoo I have, and probably the only tattoo I'll ever get. But that's my story. And we went along and have 2 years later we had Darla. Darla's 8 now. She's and I had 4 other girls, and I love my life. I love my family. I found God again after losing all complete faith, and I hope somebody out there hears this message, and it inspires you to know that you can get over things that happen in your life, that you're going to be okay. That no matter what, I'm not trying to turn this religious or anything, but no matter what, Christ is there for you, and you could pray to God. And that's my story. I hope you guys. I'm sorry, I teared up, cried a little bit. It's all right. I'm only human. And I'm a guy, obviously, but I think the biggest thing for me growing up, there's a lot of men out there that were raised up a couple of generations ago that a man has to, a man's a man and man cannot cry. How dare you have feelings? You must hide them so you're not weak. And that's so wrong, guys. That's so wrong. Guys cry. Guys have feelings. Guys have emotions. I took out the other day what we jokingly call my stepson, Logan. And I took him out the other day, and I took him out to an arcade place. We played in the arcade, had a good time. I took him out to Whataburger. We had dinner. And I told him that it's okay to have these emotions. A strong man has those emotions, feels those emotions, controls those emotions. But it's okay to have those emotions. It's okay to cry. I'm the type of guy that I'll go if I watch a sad movie and it hits me the right way, I'll cry. I mean, I'm not even sad to admit that, right? Do I think I don't know. I don't know if I want to get off topic here, but it's okay. Men cry. Strong men cry. Strong men have emotions. Strong men's let those emotions out. Strong men's control that too as well. You don't want to let it all out and get all angry and beat up people. But so there's a fine balance. But it's also why I wear pink. I wear this pink bracelet every day. Every day. I don't take it off for nothing. And I wear it to symbolize that I'm a girl dad. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Would not have it any other way. So that, guys, lets you into a little bit of my life, let you know who I am. If you have any other questions for me about that, I feel free to message me. Feel free to open up to me as well. Tell me your story. I want to know them. I challenge you people out there listening to this to get to know your neighbor and start out with your neighbor, right? Start out with your neighbor and then start out with someone on the other block. Start out with someone, just a simple conversation at the grocery store with someone. Be more friendly, open up, show your personality, and make some new friends. And share the love. Maybe I should call it Share the Love Project. Because that's what all I want to do is life is hard enough in this world we live for us not to share the light. Be the light to somebody. Love somebody. Show the love. And happiness is a mindset. That is one thing I truly believe. You can wake up and you might have so many things on your plate, but the way you handle it and the way you go about it matters. The way you handle it and you let that control your mood during that day, you can decide to be happy. So tomorrow, wake up. You may have to wake up early. Heck, I wake up and go to work at 1:30 in the morning. Do I love it? No one loves getting up that early, but I do it, and I do love my job. I do it with a smile on my face because it provides for my family, and I do it. I wake up and decide to be in a good mood, right? And everyone has those days where you're in a bad mood. Everyone has those days. It's okay to have those days. You just scratch it off and say, hey, tomorrow's going to be better. I want to challenge you guys to think of all the things you're thankful for. Think of the little things you're thankful for. I think a lot of times we go through life and we don't really know how blessed we have it. How blessed we have it in life, and the simple little things, the electricity we have, the roof over our head, the clothes on our backs, the internet we have that I'm able to do a podcast show like this, the simple things in life that mean so much to us that some do without on a daily basis. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you guys just have a bunch of food, fill your bellies, talk to your family, let them know you love them, have a friend over, watch a little football, have a good time of relaxation, eating food, and getting to know your neighbor, guys. God bless you. I love you. Feel free to comment me back on anything you heard the show. Sorry, it wasn't all sports related. We'll get back into that after the holidays. Thank you guys so much. My name's Brian. You can reach out to me at outspokensportscast@gmail.com. God bless, guys, and hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving.